You said something that really stood out to me there, which I hear all the time, is this issue of debt, of young dentists coming in and they're saddled with all of this debt.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there? Like you as a successful businessman, I mean, that's the worst thing as a businessman that you step into is I'm starting this business and I already have $600,000 in debt just because I actually went and studied to become a practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
What spiraled out of control there? Is that just the system that failed, or like what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's worse than that. You know, the average home price in the United States is $500,000. The average car costs $70,000. So you're buying 2 cars and a house just to have the basics of living in a metropolitan society. So you're $1 million in debt from a house and 2 cars and a student loan. So that's a big hole to crawl out of. I'm not exactly sure all of the forces that led to this ridiculous increase in tuition rates. What I will tell you is that dentistry consistently ranks very, very high in professions that young, smart kids want to go into. So I do believe that there's a big brain drain in medicine, and then there's a lot more people interested in dentistry. So it's the basic law of supply and demand. Like if more people want to get into dental schools and qualified people can't get in, they're going to create more dental schools. And if you create a dental school, that's a very expensive endeavor, right? So, you know, you have to buy all of the equipment. You have to buy you have to supply a huge infrastructure at a dental school. So in order to overcome all of those expenses, it gets passed on to the consumer, which is the dental student. So, we have 65 currently. They're expecting to have another 8 or 9 in the next 2 years. So we're going to be well into the mid 70s as far as dental schools go. And the average dental school debt right now is $292,000 when kids graduate. So whatever the forces are that led to that, this is the reality that we're dealing with now. So you have to decide if you're going to get into dentistry, if you're going to be trying to battle that huge debt load, being a W-2 employee and getting taxed at 32 to 37%, or if you're going to take advantage of all the tax benefits of owning your own dental practice, not being taxed 37% plus state tax, and being able to take advantage of some of those business write-offs to decrease, your tax liability. And additionally, it's shown that people that own dental practices have a 15 to 20% increase in their take-home income in addition to W-2 employees. Additional benefit is that you have an asset to sell at the end of your career versus having nothing more than what you put into your retirement accounts. So those are some of the things that you should consider when you're weighing the options between, W-2 employee and owning your own dental practice. But making that decision to go into ownership comes with a lot of caveats. You have to understand how to be an effective operator, or you're going to be worse off than the W-2 employee that's making 30% and not having to deal with all the other headaches of owning a dental practice.
But is your advice, at least try and run your own operation? Because I like what you're saying here about at least you have something by the end of it if it's yours. Would you say at least try it, or is there some people that's just not cut out for it and they should just go become a W-2?
I would say less than 50% of graduating young dentists are equipped or qualified or would be good at owning a dental practice. So although I make it sound sexy and beneficial to own your own dental practice, if you're going to get out and buy one and not understand what goes into having a successful dental practice, like I said, you're going to be worse off than the W-2. There's nothing wrong with being a high income individual, traditional high W-2 individual employee. You just have to understand that you're going to have to figure out a way to offset those high taxes somehow. Maybe it's real estate, maybe it's oil and gas, maybe it's other investments. You have to be aware of ways to offset that, and you have to have another mechanism that will allow you to accumulate those dollars so that you'll be ready for retirement to offset that windfall that other dentists get from owning a dental practice. But I'll tell you right now that most people that graduate are not going to be good owners.